and welcome to the Rugby Rundown. I'm Alex Corbisiero, and joining me, as always, is Will, the Thrill Hooley, and we have a cracker of a show for you today. Hello, Will. Nice to see you. I got a bit of stash on, you know,
a little
bit of a giveaway, maybe, of what the theme of this show is about with the CRC Sevens on the horizon. I've got my NCR National Championship stash, which they gave us.
They did?
Waiting for some CR.
Is that you calling them out already?
Yeah, I'm saying, well, I got the old stuff, but where's the new stuff? But I am representing, and yeah, we have a big show with the Sevens on the horizon.
We do indeed. Yeah, look, we're taking a bit of a break from MLR and Premiership and all things we usually bring there. And don't worry, there's plenty that will go down on our socials, whether that's Crystal Ball Challenge or MLR or whatever it might be. You can't keep me away from the pathways. Never keep me away from that. But yes, it is NCR's CRC Sevens tournament coming up here on the Rugby Network between Friday and Sunday. Both the men and the women. Is a massive event. It's actually the biggest college rugby event in the world, they say. Well, so they say.
I can believe it. I don't know, maybe like South Africa or something. I can believe it.
No, we don't. We're going to say it's here in the US. And we're going to be joined by some very special guests. So, Corbs, strap in.
Yep.
Here's what's coming up.
We've got plenty of preview to bring you on the CRC Sevens, and we'll be joined by our friends at the College Rugby Show in Pat Clifton and Darian Lovelace. Plus, we'll be speaking to some of the stars. Alexis from Wheeling University, Telesi Uhatafe from SNU, Tito Edjua from Brown University, and Alex Nyamunda from Wheeling University.
And we sit down with former USA Rugby Sevens Olympic captain Kevon Williams to discuss his induction into the 2025 CRC Hall of Fame.
We've got a stacked show indeed, Will, and obviously the collegiate seven scenes is massive here in America, and especially, you know, I'm sure there'll be some grumpy MLR fans, there always are, but you'll be surprised by the views and support we get, because college rugby is strong in America.
Man. Do you want to first of all get into it? Because you're going to throw me in a hot seat with a couple of our friends from the College Rugby Show.
Indeed, Will. Will is sitting down with two people that are very much in the know of the college scene. We have the one and only Pat Clifton, an OG on the college circuit. And joining Pat on this interview is a two-time CRC winner, Darian Lovelace herself.
Thank you, Corbs. Yes, I'm with our friends from the College Rugby Show. We have spoken already to Pat Clifton before when it came to the NCR finals in the 15s game. But Darian Lovelace, it is great to have you on the Rugby Rundown. How are you? Welcome to the show.
I'm super excited. I mean, to be able now to talk shop about rugby after, you know, getting into this competition that we're talking about, the CRCs and the career, it's been super fun, and I'm excited to be here. Thank you again for having me.
Oh, I hear you're a bit of a legend. Is it 2 times you've won the tournament in your past already? Am I correct in saying that?
You are right about that. 2 times, 2016 and 2017 with
Yeah, I absolutely. You know what? When you won it twice, you can have the red carpet to come out for you. And you should also have the red carpet out for Pat Clifton, of course, very much behind the scenes and the college rugby expert when it comes to CRC Sevens. Pat, how excited are you for this year's tournament? What can we maybe expect?
Oh, look, I'm pumped. This is the 15th Collegiate Rugby Championship, so it's a big anniversary for us, and it's going to be the best one yet, I think. We got 144 teams coming to Maryland. It's our 3rd year there at the Maryland Soccerplex.
Now, talk to me a little bit, maybe I'll come to you, Darian, in terms of the layout and structure. It's the men that compete on the Friday and Saturday, the women that compete on the Saturday and Sunday. Different brackets, different competitions, but give us a little bit of a flavour what we can maybe expect.
So there's 4 different brackets within the women's bracket. We've got the Premier Cup, you've got your D1, your D2, and your D3. Each of those brackets are going to have 16 teams each. So there's going to be a lot of games, a lot of competition. Saturday is going to be pool play, and then you've got Sunday, which are going to be your knockout rounds in the morning, and then we're going to have our semifinals and our finals later on in the afternoon. And the men's kind of follow the same suit, if Pat wants to touch on them.
Yeah, totally. We got the same 4 divisions on the men's side: Premier Cup, Division I club, Division II, Division III. The men's Premier Cup's a little bit bigger with 32 teams. The rest are all 16, just like the women's. It's a fantastic tournament. It's bracket play, right? So you have to win 4 in a row in a 16-team bracket to win a national championship. You have to win 5 in a row in the 32-team men's Premier Cup to win a national championship. So absolutely unforgiving. And if you win it at the end, man, you really deserved it. That's for sure.
Now, let's talk about that win, because as we've already mentioned, Darren, you've done it with life twice. Just how many great memories do you have of this tournament? And maybe take us back to that time when you did win it, how good it felt.
Oh, I've got it written in my diary on multiple occasions. It's one of my favorite
yes.
moments, I think, in rugby. Life University, when they were part of the competition, had a huge fan base that would come. And what I loved about the Collegiate Rugby Championships and how it's developed, it's very community-based. So having hundreds of, Life University grads and families that were in this fluorescent green in the stands. And Pat, the 5 games, you're dog-tired. And in the final especially, there was this moment in the 2017 CRCs. We were down Lindenwood 5-0, and we were all just, heads down, tired, didn't know how we were going to make it through. And Coach Miller at the time just put her hand in, and she's like, no matter what happens, we love you. And we went out there and we were like, we love you too. And just we were like, let's do it. We love rugby. We love each other.
Before I get into who we should expect to do well, and maybe even a couple of stars in there, Pat, just from your perspective as well, why is it? It's 15th years you mentioned. Why is this tournament so special?
It's really the largest collegiate rugby tournament in the world, literally, and it's a huge festival. And there's nothing like having your peers witness your accomplishments, right? When you're playing in that stadium, everybody from every division, men's or women's, are sitting there watching you. And if you make a play, there's nothing better than hearing that crowd get up. And that CRC crowd, it may look a little bit different now, but it is still the absolute best crowd in college rugby, bar none.
Well, let's look at that men's Premier Division. Pat, who would you say are maybe the top one? You can maybe give us 2 or 3 teams to look out for, and maybe also a few individuals as well in the men's side of things.
For sure. I think we got to start with the defending national champions, the Wheeling Cardinals. They are fantastic. They looked outstanding. Alex Nyamunda, and the one team that beat them, Iowa Central Community College, between Takuzwa Musanguini and Cone Webb. He's fantastic, and he's an All-American talent. Those two make a great halfback pairing, and Iowa Central's really great. And then, Brown, they got nipped and upset in the first round last year, but they're one of the best teams in the country. Ton of talent. So we'll see.
Darian, what about in the women's side of the things? Who should we be looking out for?
I'm more of a team dynamic, because I've got to say that in sevens, the connective piece is extremely important. 2 teams that I'm obviously going to be excited for is going to be Brown University. Ross is up for her 4th, which would make her, one of the only coach to get, 4 to her name, which would be an incredible accomplishment. But American International College, when I was commentating for them, their defense was by far my favorite. So I love Brown, but I've got to say I'm really, really excited to see AIC work together.
Oh, we shall see it all unfold, of course, here on the Rugby Network, both the men's and the women's side of CRC Sevens. College Rugby Show, we appreciate you. Love the work that you do, from myself and also Corbs from the Rugby Rundown. Good luck, and thanks for coming on.
Thanks, Will. Appreciate it.
Great to have our friends from the College Rugby Show. Looking forward to this weekend. But hey, as much as I want to speak to them, I want to speak to the players themselves. So I sit in the hot seat, Corbs. Get out. I'm in.
I'm out, mate. Don't worry.
And we're going to hear from some of the stars in both the men and the women's game.
Alexis Dallas, it is great to have you on the Rugby Rundown. Of course, Wheeling University, coming off the back of a 15s national championship in December, and now you're into sevens. Talk me through how excited you are of this CRC event.
After our tremendous run we had in the fall, we took that energy to put it into our sevens match. Given this, again, is our first season, it's an goal. We haven't played sevens at all, but that excitement and the work ethic we have transferred it to our 7 seasons, trying to get the best outlook from it. And it's fun, it's exhilarating, it's tough. It takes a lot of hard work, but what doesn't? So we're excited. I'm excited about it. I'm excited with the come out we're having right now.
Do you prefer 15s? Do you like sevens? What is it?
I prefer 15s. I like motion. I like having a lot of girls out there on the field, but I do enjoy 7s solely because it keeps me in shape. It gets me running. It gets me an opportunity to run with the ball, and I can't be bailed out by my teammates. It's one-on-one, and I like the tough, and I like the effort I got to put into it to get it taken care of.
So what are the goals for this tournament? Come on, don't be humble. I want to know it straight up. Come on.
Get the best outcome possible. Obviously, we want another ring to add to the trophy. I had another trophy back there, but to play the best rugby we can as a program. We can only grow from here, so even if the outcome isn't what we expected, it's a learning opportunity.
Who is, let's talk about wheeling. Who is the quickest player on your team?
My roommate Tamsin, she's the fastest one I got. I got a backer too.
And what is it? Would you rather score tries or assist?
I'd rather assist. It looks cooler.
Great answer. Everyone would think they just want to take the glory. Who do you reckon might be the favourite? Obviously, Brown won it last year, but who are you kind of watching out for?
I'm obviously looking out for AIC and Brown, and then we played Davenport this weekend, and that's a really good club they got going on, but mostly AIC and Brown. They're probably going to be our toughest competition.
Telesi Uhatafe from SNU. How are you doing? Good to have you on. Are you excited for the CRC this weekend?
Yeah, I'm good, and I'm pretty excited for this year's CRC, so yeah.
Now, what is your favourite? Is it 15s or is it 7s? Or are you not bothered, but I've got a feeling that maybe you prefer one over the other?
I enjoy playing both, but I like 7s more better.
Yeah? Why?
Because I can honestly get the job done quicker, so...
I love it you say it like that. What do you mean by getting the job done quick? How would you describe yourself as a player?
Determined.
Yeah? And getting the job done quicker? Are you more of a run around someone, or are you more of a run through someone?
I think running through people is more funner, so...
Who, in your opinion, are maybe the colleges to watch out for? Who do you think maybe is looking strong coming into the weekend?
Definitely Brown, Army, AIC. Our goals is to, of course, place a higher seeding than last year and the years before.
Who is maybe the quickest player on your team?
I would say me.
Yes, I knew that was coming. Why? I love it. I love it. But have the confidence.
I don't know. They just run as if, I don't know, something's chasing me.
Are you a try scorer, or you prefer being a try assister? Try assisting.
I like try assisting, but in times of need, I'm going straight to the try. So,
yeah, you want to take that. How much are you looking forward to this CRC Sevens?
I'm excited. This year we have a brand new team coming in, so I'm excited how we will play when it matters the most.
On to the men's side of things, and another national champion. We talked to Alexis Dallas from Wheeling for the women's, but for the men, Tito Edjua from Brown University. Tito, great to have you on, man. A national championship in December, and then, hey, you going for it again? Or say going for it this time in CRC Sevens?
Yeah, definitely. So Houston was pretty special, I'm not going to lie. So obviously, we've not had the most success in sevens in the past, but, we're going to try and start backing it up and become more of a sevens team, this season. So
I can hear that English accent. Talk to me. You've also played for the USA Under-20s, so you've got some explanation to do here, buddy. What's going on?
So I was born in DC, but then I kind of moved around a bit, but then my family settled in London. So I was born in DC and I've lived in London since I was 4. So that's the kind of USA roots. And then I got the invite this summer, so I was like, let's definitely do it. And then I was lucky enough to go to Scotland with the boys, which was an amazing experience.
You've had quite a year then in 2024. Look, it's great what Brown are doing, and in terms of going for the CRC, lessons from last year wasn't the best competition for you boys. How much are you looking forward to it, and what are going to be the challenges?
It's amazing, honestly. It's great, isn't it? It's just a great facility. It's lovely, everyone going down there, all the pictures and everything. But I think the thing with what they set up the cascading bracket is that you have no room for errors. In straight from the start, you have to really lock in and start winning. There's no warm-up period or anything like that. So I think definitely just going in there and starting at 100 and hitting it straight away, that's our goal for this year.
And in terms of what maybe the goals are overall, come on, don't be humble. What's the aims this season in the Premier Men's Division?
See if we can get any silver. Obviously, that's always the goal. So keep winning and then see when it gets to those important games, hopefully the quarters, semis, finals, then, we can see if we can get any silverware.
And for this CRC tournament, it's a massive, massive tournament, but who would you say maybe you consider as potential favourites, ones to look out for in terms of your opposition that you might meet in the final? You never know.
Definitely Cusstown. Cusstown got the better of us this weekend in overtime, but obviously Wheeling have always been amazing at sevens. ICCC go under the radar, but they're also a very dangerous team too. So as in, we'll obviously play each game as it comes, but as in, I think once it gets to, those later rounds, I think those are the teams we'll be looking at playing. So
if you could select or have one player from World Rugby, either male or female, to be in your team for CRC Sevens, who would it be and why?
Jasmine got me just electric. Left foot, right foot, just impossible to defend. In 15s and in 7s, just...
Yeah. Unbelievable. Alex Nyamunda from Wheeling University, a champion already with CRC Sevens from last year. Alex, thank you for joining. How excited are you to try and retain your title in CRC Sevens this year?
How you doing, man? I'm happy to be here. I'm so happy and I'm ready to play again the game I love, the game of rugby. We've been training towards this, and it's been a good season so far. We've won 2 tournaments out of 3. We lost the last one in the final, but we just lost it in the final. It was just a hiccup, but we're fixing it. But I'm really happy. All thanks to God Almighty.
Talk to me about the lessons from winning the CRC Sevens last year, and what do you believe is you're going to have to do again to try and win it this year?
Honestly, hard work, not giving up, the mentality. At the end of the day, if you work hard, you reap what you sow. If you work hard on the gym, if you do extra work, you're gonna get it again. Also, being humble and praying every single time is the best thing. God is the key to winning this thing again. No injuries, He protects us, He leads us. So I was just saying, being humble is the best thing ever.
Now, I've noticed that you lead the song that you guys sing within the team. Talk to me about what that song is about and your sort of role in it.
So I feel like that song helps us to calm down before the game, like locking in towards the storm we're going into the match, focusing on opponents, thinking your role, what you're supposed to do in the game. So it just locks you in, relaxes you, gets you ready, gets you pumped for the game. It's like you're talking to yourself in the head. You'll be talking to yourself, realizing, and not just playing for yourself, you're playing for everyone who's watching, your parents, your teammates, your brothers. And so it just locks you in, relaxes your nerves.
Who do you think is maybe your biggest challenge?
It's between ICC and Bonnies. Those are the teams which we think are going to be the toughest.
Love it, man. And then for me, I want to know, who is the quickest on your team? Are you the fastest?
I'm getting there. Actually, I've been training. Yeah, I'm getting there, but I'm not the fastest. So there are 3 guys out there. I don't know who's the fastest between those 3. Panashim, Gorgodi, Shadrach, and this Ayub, Charlie. So it's between those 3. I don't know who's the fastest, but those guys are faster than me. Slightly faster.
They're going to be danger men, I know, at the weekend. Yeah. Awesome. Alex, thank you so much, my man. Good luck on the weekend.
Thank you so much, man.
We are joined by the USA Rugby Sevens legend, Olympic captain himself, Kevon Williams, mate. Welcome to the Rugby Rundown.
Hey, thank you for having me, man. Thank you for having me.
Well, obviously, lots of accolades in your successful sort of rugby career, but the one I want to talk on today is congratulations on being named in the 2025 CRC Hall of Fame class. Absolutely outstanding sort of award for you, especially being the first ever D3 player to be in that Hall of Fame as well.
Man, thank you. It means a lot, playing rugby, you know, you never know kind of where you'll get to and what you would achieve. But, you know, me coming from such a small school and being able to have the success I've had, I'm extremely happy and extremely grateful.
Well, let's talk a little bit about that origin story and where you started, because it was obviously New Mexico Highlands University. You finished football in 2013 as a wide receiver and somehow found your way onto the rugby field in 2014 and even at the CRC Sevens in your first season.
Yeah, man, that just came from I like to think I was being smart at the time. I changed my major from university studies to computer science. And when I talked to my counselor, she told me that I was going to have an extended amount of time left in school because I changed so late. And rugby kind of just found me. And with that time left in school, I continued to play rugby and, you know, met a great group of guys. And we got to play on some of the best of stages for college rugby.
Well, let's talk about that a little bit. So CRC 2014, first year in the sport, you guys actually get runners up. But then 2015 and 16, you actually went and won back-to-back champions. What was that like, the CRC, the experience, and really probably for you in a young age, the step up in competition?
No, it was good. You know, we come from this small town in New Mexico, and most of us never had played rugby before in our lives. I think it was maybe one person on our team that played rugby. So us getting on that stage and kind of seeing that talent, and not only at our level, but, you know, the Division I level as well, you like, man, like, I mean, we're not as good, but I think we can play with these guys. And then, you know, years later, we get better and we're able to beat our competition. And, you know, we start thinking, you know, what if? And so, yeah.
Exactly. And I want to get onto the pathway a little bit that Collegiate Sevens offers, especially with your sort of transition and journey. But just on the CRCs as a whole as well, like this is the pinnacle of the Collegiate Sevens series. It's a very like storied history tournament, huge size with the amount of teams. Just a little bit of your own experiences, perspectives, and maybe just some insight for our viewers who aren't as familiar with it.
Yeah, man. Like you said, it's the pinnacle of sevens, college sevens rugby in America. You know, that's kind of where all the big time competition goes and plays. And if you can go in and you can win a CRCs, that means a lot. And you know, we always say, I like to always say, you know, like when you're playing anybody, like and you're winning, it doesn't really matter. But when you're playing somebody and you're winning, it means everything. So when you can go to a stage like that and you can go out there and you can perform well against the best teams, you're really doing the right thing.
Oh, that's awesome, bro. And then let's move into some of that pathway and projection, because let's be honest, USA, huge sort of 4-year cycle in sevens coming up with the Home Olympics in 2028 in LA. The team's probably not in the greatest position they'd like to be on the series. Lots going on. We don't need to talk about that, but really I'm talking about the pathway, that how important could some of these players out on the field be in that next 4-year cycle?
Yeah, I mean, like we just said, like you playing on the biggest stage, so like I'm sure that our nation's best scouts are always in the stands, always on the screen watching these games. So these players that are going out there and performing well, they'll get their shot, they'll get a call up. I mean, we've had countless players in the past who've been able to go to CRCs and come through our program. I mean, some of the guys I played with, like, you know, Danny Barrett, you got Madison, you got Brett Thompson. Like, all of these guys played many years with the Sevens, and a lot of they got their first shot at the CRCs.
Another question for you, Kevon, is, you know, you've been through the CRCs, you've been through the Olympics. Sevens is a very unique form of rugby with sort of the highs and lows and the small margins that can really decide huge outcomes in such a tiny bit of time. What's your advice to the CRC players suiting up out there in Maryland coming up soon?
Yeah, that's a loaded question. My advice is just, you know, go out there and play your brand of rugby. Everybody has their specific style of rugby, and just play team ball. And when it's your turn to step up for the team, do that. No heroes right now. You're trying to make it to the championship, and one person can't do that.
Yeah, thanks so much for coming on this Rugby Rundown. And again, congratulations on that Hall of Fame inductee announcement. We really look forward to seeing you out there getting inducted at the ceremony on the 26th of April in Maryland.
Well, it's final whistle time here on the Rundown. Will, it's been a cracker of a show. Slightly different vibe.
Yeah.
read my mind there.
Yeah, well, look, mate, we want to try and get into the collegiate world. We've been really impressed by just the support we've had, engagement, and this will be, I'm sure, the same. CRC Sevens is coming to you on Friday, Saturday, and Sunday, both the men and then the women, and it's all on the Rugby Network. You've got to go and get your ticket and tune in.
Absolutely. And if you are a fan of the collegiate rugby scene here in America, we really need you to step up and represent. Give us the views, give us the likes, give us the shares. If you want to see more, that's the best way to get it out of us.
And give us a free t-shirt. We'll see you next week.